And at the end of that fight, pages 6 or 7, if a dominant lobster is badly defeated, its brain basically dissolves. Then it grows a new subordinate brain, one that's more appropriate for its new lowly position. Its original brain just isn't sophisticated enough to manage the transformation from king to bottom dog without virtual complete dissolution and regrowth. Big time concept there. And I don't think a lot of people get it, man. Like, when you are beat down like that, your brain restructures itself to dwell in that bottom dwelling place in the hierarchy of life. Like, I have tried to talk to people about this. Like, you've got to change your mindset. And it sounds like bullshit, to somebody that isn't introspective enough. But it's a thing. And what Peterson's doing here, to what you were getting at a minute ago, is like, we want to act like we're not animals. We want to act like we didn't go through this evolution that all these different species have gone through. We want to act like we didn't come from the same origin. And the thing is, like, when you simplify things, like how simple it is to watch a lobster, and how they interact with their environment, like, you can start to understand, like, we're not that different.
Right. And he talks about, how lobsters have lived this way for millions of years. For as long as lobsters have been around, this is how they live. And so, I mean, they're still alive today. So, like, speaks volumes, right? Because in order for something to work, the thing that it's revolves around has to live as a species, right? And so, going right back to where you are, I mean, the same thing has to go for us. Anything that we put ourselves into, it has to work. You're and he gets into it in the book, but like the social norms and stuff like that, like things like that has to work. And that's kind of one of the things is when you get defeated, right? And like what you were saying, you have to pick yourself back up out of that. You have to reevaluate your choices. Otherwise you're not going to live, because what's a life just walking around being defeated all the time?
Yeah, well, that's also, like, let's take the flip side of that, right? Like, if you don't pick yourself back up, man, like, you're gonna be the lobster that runs away. That's still kind of an awkward thing to compare yourself to, but that's what Peterson's talking about in the exploration part of that conversation. Is like, hey, these lobsters know, man. They know who to mess with and who to not mess with. And what you will find out reading this chapter is, like, it really can be that basic as far as how you influence the things around you. Like, if you are a big, strong looking lobster, other lobsters aren't going to mess with you, and then, you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to go after the better territory. You're going to get the better food, which leads to the better mates. But we're going to get into that next chapter. Like, that's the basic rundown though, right? Like, if you want to make a 10-second podcast, that's it.